Hey, this is Dane from featherprop.com. Thanks for joining me here today. I want to do a review of the Raven 40-liter backpack made by Hilltop Packs. This is my first ultralight backpack, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it and the reason why I went with Hilltop Packs. Now, I've been backpacking for over 30 years, and when I originally started, I was using an external frame backpack. I then bought my first internal frame backpack, which was a Gregory Shasta. I think it's an 80-liter backpack, and I've actually stayed with Gregory over the years. I have, in addition to my 80-liter backpack, I have a 65-liter Zulu, I have a 45-liter Zulu, I have a 40-liter Z series, and I have an old 30-liter Gregory backpack. In addition to that, I even have a Gregory backpack for my laptop at work. So I have stayed with Gregory really for primary one major reason, and that is comfort. Carrying a heavy load all day, I want to be able to be comfortable doing it, and Gregory puts a lot of effort and a lot of material into trying to make it comfortable. And for that reason, I have been reluctant to pull the trigger on an ultralight backpack, but a lot of my friends have been getting them. I know people are using them more and more, and I just didn't want to sacrifice comfort, which I will talk about here today. But so one day I'm on Facebook, and of course Facebook knows everything that's going on in our lives. It knows that I have been thinking about an ultralight, and I'm scrolling through and I find an ad from Hilltop Packs. So I go to their website, take a closer look at them, and then I discover they're in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour and a half drive from my house. I was shocked. I mean, can anything good come out of Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, to quote John chapter 1? And I thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And, so I drove over there. My wife and I went over to the store and met Ben McMillan, who is the owner, CEO, president, king of Hilltop Packs. And Ben just welcomed me in, showed me around, gave me a tour of his facilities. And Ben is just nothing short of amazing. I just really immediately respected him for what he's doing, for giving employment to so many local people, and just building up a great business on a great business model. And just after meeting him, I just immediately, okay, I want to do business with this guy. I mean, I want to do business with Ben. And so I knew right then and there, I'm going to order one of his backpacks. And Ben has been making his own gear for a very, very long time. And the neat thing about this gear, it's all handmade. All the people there, I got to meet a lot of the seamstresses who work in the shop. And so back in the fall of 24, I started working with our graphic designer, because what they do is they can custom print the backpack with whatever design you want, whatever pictures you want. And so I'm shooting this video in 2025. In September of 26, the Laurel Highlands Hiking Trail, which I am closely affiliated with, will celebrate its 50th anniversary. And so I thought, what better way to celebrate it than to get the map of the Laurel Highlands Hiking Trail printed on my backpack. So I took a topographical map, which was based on one of my hikes a couple of years ago, and worked with the graphic designer Christian down at Hilltop Packs to get the map put on here. And I am so pleased with the detail. I'm so pleased with the way it looks. And so they printed this backpack, and I got it in time this spring for my trip that I just came back from a few weeks ago. And I don't mean to imply it took that long to print it. It just took that long to kind of work out all the fine details, and a lot of that was on me trying to get the best images possible. So, but they were very willing to work with me on that, and I'm just super, super pleased with what I call now the 50th anniversary commemorative Laurel Highlands Hiking Trail backpack, because it's printed with their map. But let me talk about this backpack and some of the features. First of all, I got it with the mesh backing. You can get a solid backing or a mesh, and I went with mesh just simply because you can see your equipment. Now you can see there I put some things in there, and you can just reach in, you can find what you want very easily because you can see it from the outside. This is a good place to keep like my water filter kit, my stove, fuel, and things like that right here in this mesh pack. And it's large. It covers over about half the backpack itself, so it's a very, very large thing. On the sides, you can see here are side pockets. These are optional. You don't have to get these. I got the side pockets, and they come with a little drawstring. I have a little Nalgene bottle in here just to show you what that looks like. So these side pockets are optional. Here I put a sit pad in there just to show you. It has a drawstring again. You can tighten this up and loosen it. Very roomy. It's got a lot of room in here, and to put gear even in there, or extra water and things like that. So that's sort of the external storage of this. On the inside, I got the sit pad cord here, so you can actually put a sit pad in there and just kind of keep it pressed against your back. I got the cord on there. You can take that off, but I did put that on. Also, it comes with the shoulder straps, of course. These are padded, so it does offer you some comfort from the shoulder pads. And the belt. I got to be careful here. I don't want to overwhelm you with noise. But the belt is, this is a padded belt. You can get just the webbing on it and no pads, but I opted for the padded because I want the comfort. Now, let me tell you about the belt, because I'm really cracked about this belt. As you can see, it's only got about 4.5 inches of webbing wrapping around, just enough to kind of cover the hip, and that's it. All of my other Gregory backpacks, the webbing comes the whole way around to the front. And that creates a problem for me, because when the webbing goes the whole way around, I can only cinch it up so much, and the webbing actually touches each other. I mean, I have a 31, 32 inch waist, and so I've never had a backpack where I can really tighten it up on the waist, because you do want all your weight sitting on your hips. This belt, I can finally do that. I could really crank it down and get a good cinch tight on my belt, or my hips, which I was super excited about that. Another thing, and this was just kind of an added bonus, one of my problems when I'm backpacking is I don't like hiking with a belt on. So my pants have a tendency to fall down. The backpack will actually push my pants down around my hips. I discovered a hack. This webbing fits perfectly into the loops of my pants. And so the backpack actually helps hold my pants up while I'm hiking. And I was so thrilled to be able to have that. Now someone might say, well, wait a second, why do you got to take your pack off really quickly? You know, bear's chasing you. Well, I suppose if a bear is chasing you, taking your pack off is going to be the least of your concerns in a few seconds. I think maybe if you get the tummy bubbles and you need to take your pack off quick to get to the bathroom, that might be a problem. But this actually, it worked for me. It worked for me. I'll be able to hold my pants up with my backpack belt. So I love that feature. I think that's all the outside features to have. Now, this is 40 liters. And it's huge. I would say it's measured differently than a typical 40-liter backpack. This 40-liter backpack is probably more comparative to my 65-liter backpack, and you can get them in different sizes on their website. But I ordered the 40, and I think it's all I'm ever going to need. I can't imagine needing more room than this. I suppose in some, maybe winter hiking for an extended period of time, I might have to have something more than that. Also, I got the what's called the Y belt. You can see it's two straps here, and that holds it on. This is for a bare canister. It's adjustable. You can put a canister on top and strap it down. This is a roll top pack, as you can see here. Obviously it's a top loading backpack. You put all your gear in from the top, and then roll it down. And the thing I like about that is, if as your food diminishes and your pack gets smaller and smaller, you can just crank this thing down, and you've got a small backpack on your back, which is just kind of cool. Now, I will mention, because I already alluded to the sound. I have heard some complaints from people talking about the Ultralight backpacks having a crunchy sound to them. It does when you're opening it up and closing it, but not once on my trip did I hear the sound. When I'm walking, there's no noise. I mean, there just simply is no noise to be heard. Yeah, when you open it, when you close it, in the fabric, the material does have a crunchy kind of feel to it, but the benefits of that far outweighed any kind of sound noise. Now, The biggest thing is, in my opinion, the comfort. That's really, again, why I was hesitant to go with an ultralight, and that would be the real test, in my opinion. What would the comfort be like? I've talked to people who've used them, and they say, oh, it's fine, it's fine. So I just came back from a 70-mile, 3-day backpacking trip. I did the Laurel Highlands Trail in 3 days, 2 nights. You can check out the video. I'll actually put a link to that video below here. And I used this pack on that trip. And I have to say, or I'm happy to say, I sacrificed no comfort on this. Seriously, no comfort at all, in my opinion. Now, I say that because even with my Gregory packs, after, I walked 24 miles, 22 miles, and 24 miles in this pack. If I would have taken my Gregory pack, at the end of the day, I would have felt it on my traps. My shoulders, the pack coming over my shoulders, that's where I feel it. That's where I feel the annoying, the tug, the pull. I felt it on this too. It wasn't more comfortable than my Gregory, but it wasn't less. I didn't lose anything other than weight. And that kind of surprised me. I really thought that it would be, harder to carry, a little more pain, and it wasn't. I've heard people say stuff like, I never knew that pack was on my back. I don't know how you get to that point, but I've always noticed that weight on my back, always. But in my opinion, I didn't lose anything other than weight. Now this pack, empty, weighs in at 18 ounces. That is just so cool to think about, 18 ounces. So when you pack it up and you're walking out the door, you're already, up to 2 to 3 pounds, perhaps lighter than where you would be with all the same gear. And it carried my gear fine. I didn't have any issues with this whatsoever. So, again, I am just so thrilled with this. By the way, it does have the side cinches, you can see here, to kind of cinch the sides up and make it tighter, which does help carry the load. I didn't describe that. It's on both sides as well. But this pack I thought it performed very, very well. I'm very happy with it. I love the print job. I love just having the map of the trail that I love most on my backpack, and I just really, really like that. So Hilltop Packs, hilltoppacks.com is their website. I endorse that. I endorse their products. I really, really like them. And if you're thinking about pulling the trigger on an ultralight backpack, please check out Hilltop Packs. I think you'll be very, very pleased with Ben and his crew, and especially with the product and what you get from them. So, well, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time or out on the trail.